And let's get into the card PG. The Yoko Taro cards. Off to our slime rescue mission. So what did you have to say again about your slime? The girl sobs, wailing about the missing Mr. Flobby. Do you know anything about Mr. Flobby?
Melanie's friend Lappy is here. Lappy cuddles up to Melanie. Despite her hatred of monsters, Melanie doesn't seem to mind. It seems like the girl who left the headman's house ran away in tears. The elderly man says she cannot have gone far.
Yes, we've already talked to her. I wonder if maybe someone else knows something about where the slime may have gone to.
Having no interest in children's picture books, you continue on your way. She says she saw a suspicious man in black with a slime outside the village not long ago. She claims they went northwest together.
Well, that's very helpful. Northwest.
Did that man take Mr. Flobby? You resolve to leave the village in search of the pair.
Northwest of Unionville. Off we go. Oh, look at that. There's a cave. I cannot leave that one card unturned. Happenstance card. Ensure all allies and enemies...
About the enemy.
Hold on. Ensure all allies and enemies attacks all land. Ooh, okay, so nobody can miss. Okay. And that's not too bad. It's not going to hurt me that much.
Though a torch is not strictly necessary, it would certainly help you find your way through the dimly lit shrine.
I should have a torch. It has been a while since I used it, so I forget which what category it's under. Unless that torch was expended when I did it in that one dungeon. Maybe that is the case. Oh well. We proceed with limited view.
Your footing is obscured in the dimness of the shrine. You should probably proceed with caution. You go forth slowly but steadily, taking it one step at a time. You take a good look at the floor and see it lined in trails of viscous liquid. No doubt a slime or 200 have passed through here.
Well, if it's going to limit my ability to move that much, let me see if I can get a torch from the village. Torch? Do you have a torch? I don't remember seeing you having a torch. You don't. Gosh, was the torch in Thrice? Was it Nexton or Thrice? I think it was Thryston that had it. Yep, there it is. Alright, let me sell some stuff. So that way I can afford both the trip back and maybe to get a couple more torches. Well, let's just sell this. And also... Oh, there we go. I knew I was hanging on to that for some reason. Certainly not to revive an ally, that's for sure. All right, now back to Union Station. Eh? I can't move forward? Choose another town. There we go. Ooh, we have the Carriage Master's story. What does his story say? Oh yeah, it's the riddle. So do we actually get the answer to the riddle now? At first it has 4 legs, then 2, then 3. In the end it has 10 legs. What is it? The answer is me! Ah, may I pass peacefully into the next life in the driver's seat of this gentle carriage, of this gently swaying carriage. I love it so. 10 legs? I guess maybe the... Me? 4, 4. Oh, yeah, because 4 wheels, 4 legs of the horse, and then his 2 legs. 10. Haha.
It looks like poor Mr. Flobby is being held captive by the Mystery Man. Hand over that slime, you shout to the man in the dark. You speak as if I kidnapped him, he remarks, curtly turning to face you. When your eyes finally adjust to the surrounding darkness, you realize the man's clothes look eerily similar to Melanie's.
Gasp.
Melanie's mouth falls open in surprise. It seems the man has noticed Melanie as well. It looks like the two know each other.
What do you suppose their relationship is? Maybe they're friends. Or they are wearing matching outfits. I mean, they're wearing matching outfits.
The man says that he and Melanie came from the same village, where this was their native dress.
Oh, isn't that nice when a village has a uniform?
The man's revelation makes you realize that you know almost nothing about Melanie's past.
You take the chance to find out more. Melanie's hometown?
You ask Melanie about her hometown, but she holds her tongue. Then the man speaks. With forbidden magic, our clan has ensured the dragon, he begins, when Melanie cuts in. She rattles on about the man, telling you that he is Vince, a lunatic obsessed with the dragon. Vince resentfully claims that he is searching for the noble dragon to protect it. You ran away from home with your tail between your legs, he ridicules. Enraged, Melanie lunges at Vince. You have so many questions, but realize that the most pressing matter is getting Mr. Flobby back. So you ready for battle? Careful, he won't go down easy.
Oh, the defense isn't too bad, though. Happenstance cards trigger... Oh, cards will trigger each turn. Add 3 to all allies' recovery... Eh? Well, let's see if we can get a tick on him. Ah! Maybe immobilize him? Oh, resistant to freeze, okay. Well, you are our tankiest character, so I don't think you need to be regenning quite yet. Decrease water damage dealt to all allies by 3. Good thing I don't have any water spells. Let's try to poison again. So, resistant to freeze. How about... little fire? Ooh. Oh, that's fine. Ah, only 1 damage. Add 3 to all allies' attacks.
During the fight, Vince asks, "Do you know the truth about that village?" The headman may look like a nice old man, but he keeps those little monsters around too. He begins, but before he can finish, Winifred, Hedwyn, and Berwyn of the Ivory Order appear. The three brush you aside, fixing their attention on Vince. "So you are the one who disturbs the peace," they exclaim, then charge at him. The Ivory Order and that false justice they serve are the true evil here, he retaliates, fighting back.
Please tell me I can choose to fight them. Hey Vector, what's up?
Seeing the two parties occupied with each other, you realize this is your chance to grab Mr. Flobby. Vince is on equal footing with the three from the Order. You realize then that he wasn't fighting in earnest against you earlier. Engrossed in their battle, the combatants pay you no mind.
So, did you catch a CEO earlier?
Perhaps wary of humans, Mr. Flobby dashes out when you draw near.
Oh, well, the first champion of Street Fighter 6 in the first major is Blanca. The final for Street Fighter was Nephew versus Mena. Mena had been playing Luke for most of the tournament, but also had been playing Blanca too. For the last couple of matches Mena played, Mena mainly played Blanca and just switched to Luke sparingly. Nephew was playing Jury.
When you reach out to grab Mr. Flobby, he suddenly attacks. Lower Mr. Flobby's stamina to calm him down.
Uh-oh. Okay, how do I do this without killing him? Do I have the handkerchief? I do not. Yes. Mena is our first Street Fighter 6 champion. And appropriate, he was dominant in Street Fighter 5 too. You know, he's been, you know, a force in the game since he's really shown up in Street Fighter 5. Okay, I'm not going to do anything else. Well, let's just cast Regenerate. Well, I guess I do have to just reduce his health.
Exhausted from the fight, the raging Mr. Flobby finally stops attacking. But it seems he hasn't yet come to his senses. He glares warily at your party. Find something to help return Mr. Flobby to normal. You wipe Mr. Flobby's mouth with the handkerchief you received from the girl. Then you hear a quiet voice speak. "That's not my mouth," Mr. Flobby murmurs bashfully. It looks like the girl's familiar scent on the handkerchief returned him to normal. Having regained his senses, Mr. Flobby heads back to the village. You place the increasingly sticky handkerchief in your bag.
Yeah, there were a lot of juries in the top 8 for Street Fighter. I guess Jury is... I'm not gonna say Jury is like top tier, but Jury seems to be like maybe the easiest character to master this early and use effectively within the meta. Kaba was also in top 8 with his Guile. Punk was there with Cammy.
Lappy approaches and tells you that Mr. Flobby has returned. The girl is ecstatic that Mr. Flobby is finally back home. "I'm happy for you," Melanie says with a smile as she returns the handkerchief. The girl bows her head and thanks you deeply. Mr. Flobby looks as slimy as ever. You just hope it's a happy slime. The headman wants us to bring Mr. Flobby to him. Would you mind, you ask? Of course not, but bring him back soon, she answers with a bright smile.
So as I was saying, yeah, there are a lot of juries in the top 8. Aside from just a couple others who are playing other characters.
I am so happy to see you safe and sound, the headman exclaims, giving Mr. Flobby a hug. You explain everything that happened, including the incident with Vince and the Ivory Order. He expresses his relief that the Order will be taking care of the criminal. He then thanks you for your hard work and instructs his stewardess to prepare dinner for your party. You can feel your collective mouths watering at the sight of the lavish meal before you.
This is more Ash-like of a response, I think. Let's dig in.
You, Mar, and Ridus immediately dig in. You aren't sure where you find a moment to breathe among all the feasting. Please, eat to your heart's content, the headman insists with a smile. Once your belly is full, you realize that Mr. Flobby is gone. And then... Room for dessert? The headman asks, offering you a plate of slimy jelly. You feel your stomach churning at the very sight of it. The color strikes you as familiar, and the stickiness sends a shiver down your spine.
Could it be?
Is this Mr. Flobby? You ask the headman, your voice trembling in disbelief. The headman looks at you with a plain expression, one that holds no malice. Is that a problem? He questions back. This dish is a masterpiece, he remarks with a light-hearted chuckle as he gazes at the jelly. And I have you brave heroes to thank for it. Had you not brought that slime back, we would not be able to enjoy this exquisite dessert.
There's the Yoko Taro we all know and love.
You move to leave, but the headman stops you. I try to get my meat while it's still young and tender, but at least your pet is very plump, he remarks, licking his lips. He points at Mar and asks, would you consider leaving that creature here with me? Never, you refuse flatly, not bothering to hide your discomfort. Think about it, he entreats. And then you grab the headman by his lapels, hands trembling in fury. Pummel the headman with all your might. Curled up on the ground, the headman groans in pain, but insists that monsters were meant to be eaten. You hug Mar tightly, reassuring him that you will not hand him over to anyone. Mar looks at you with his round eyes and mews softly. You meet eyes with the rest of your party and reach a tacit agreement. Together, you all stand and leave. As you are about to leave the headman's house, though, the old man suddenly charges at you from behind. But Mar, the keener of you two, is quick to block his path. With a crash, Mar and the headman tumble to the ground. From the headman's hand falls a small blade. It clatters to the ground, covered in blood. You take the injured Mar to an inn where you can watch over him. You gaze at the unconscious Mar with concern. Despite the shallow wound, no amount of medicine seems to rouse Mar from the bed. I heard that my friends were in danger, so I came as quickly as I could, Lappy says. As he reaches Mar's bedside, he leans over and licks his wound. This is what you call it extract, he shouts.
What you call it, extract?
He explains that it is a poison extracted from a certain monster. If it enters the body, it drastically reduces one's stamina. Hearing those words, you realize the headman's blade must have been coated in this poison. Mars' condition starts to make sense. Isn't there anything we can do? Melanie asks. Lappy's eyes widen in realization before he places his mouth over Mars' wound and begins sucking. He then puts the whatchamacallit extract into a bottle and hands it to you. Lappy says that if you follow the road south of the village, you will reach Shoreland. He tells you to give the extract to the famous nutritionist there.
Well, Lappy was looking for an adventure. Maybe he could be part of the party for a bit.
You try asking Lappy to go in your stead. Since you already know the particulars, why don't you go? I would love to go, but alas, I am a monster, and still a child, he answers. Thus venturing to other towns would be perilous. You raise an eyebrow, recalling someone who had said they were ready to leave the village on a journey. You decide to go, knowing that Mars' health is your top priority. But this is strange. The extract comes from a monster, so it should have no effect on one, Lappy remarks with a curious tilt of his head.
Oh, the party's already set. Okay. Do I need to set up an ability? Oh, which one should I do? Add 3 damage if target is inflicted with the status ailment. I'm not really doing a lot of status ailments other than the freeze, so I'm not sure that one would really pay off too much. This, however, or are these passive? Do these just work no matter what? Maybe these just work no matter what. Alright, so what is the village headman's story? A traveling gourmand in his younger days, the headman has long been fond of monsters. So much so, he founded Unionville, where humans and monsters coexist. Looks don't tell the whole story. Even the most inedible looking things can harbor incredible flavors, the headman explains, his table filled with dishes never before seen.
I thought a beast of that size would eat us out of house and home, she remarks, no doubt talking about Mar.
Oh yeah, speaking of emotes, I've added a few more emotes to Franker Faces and to Better Twitch TV. So if you have either of those extensions, there should be emotes available in there specific to my channel. So it said follow the road south, so like south here. Or maybe there's more over this way. Aha!
A bizarre rock appeared. It seems primed to explode. The bizarre rock transformed into a fear rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
Didn't I just comment about status effects and only really having the freeze one ever on something and then saying, nah, let's just not? Add 3 to water damage dealt by all allies and enemies. Ooh. So what's the armed slime story? Oh, not characters. Monsters, please. Armed slime. These slimes have learned how to wield human weaponry. Most all who have taken them lightly have paid with their lives. Well, learn to wield is perhaps overstating things. They still primarily attack by ramming their gooey body into their enemies, but now they do so while brandishing a sword. And is this Mr. Floppy? Mr. Flobby! It's everyone's favorite friendly villager slime, Mr. Flobby! You can find him playing house or racing against a girl in the village, his bestest friend forever. Mr. Flobby comes from a real big family. There's his sister, Plovy, his brother, Blebby, and his nephew, Booby. Sadly, none of them are with us any longer. And I suspect that probably should have been read before going to the headmaster. Or the village headman.
Look, you two, it's the sea, Ridis exclaims, frolicking in glee. You, on the other hand, trudge along as far as you can from the coast, ignoring the hair sticking to your forehead.
Kin?
Feeling something at your feet, you glance down. There's something underneath your boot. It appears you've stepped on a monster's cape, making it very upset. It attacks you in fury.
Ooh. Beefy. Happenstances for each turn, huh? Oh, sweet, I can't miss. That's good. Lizards, so they should be weak to cold, right? That makes sense? I guess not that much sense. Ooh. Good thing I can't miss. Weak to bolt. That's interesting. Add 3 to all allies' recovery rates.
Excellent.
Man, too bad I don't have quick shot. I forgot to charge up for that. Oops. Oh, well then. Deal light damage. That'd actually be useful to have on hand. So that's interesting. So Ray is actually the team paladin? Seems like it. Well, let's swap out Cure for Spinning Ray. Enter Shoreland? Sure! None? Find the nutritionist residing in Shoreland.
The man says the fishing industry is usually thriving in their seaside town, but recently nets have been coming up empty. He mentions that even the fishing harbor to the northwest has been suffering from poor hauls of late.
Well, that didn't take much.
You hear a roar in the distance. According to the townsfolk, it is a very recent phenomenon. Rumor in the village has it that it might be the dragon.
Might be.
A troubled woman tells you that there has been a rise in thefts lately. She speculates the recession to be the cause.
Could be the dragon.
She claims that even the cold medicine she always has on hand has disappeared.
It's got to be the dragon, right? Dragons just steal everything, don't they? That's their thing. That's what they're known for. They just steal everything.
She narrows her eyes at the crowd, suspecting there is a thief among them, and offers a reward for the return of the medicine. Your ears perk up at the word reward, and you immediately agree to help expose the dirty thief. I can feel the dragon's presence. I must inform Lady Winifred, the knight mutters. You feel impatient, determined not to let the order beat you to it.
Okay, it's the same line. So, what does the armorer have? Armorer. Ooh. Deep talons. Oh yeah, right. I never put a ring back on Ash. Oops. Well, Mars not back in the party yet, so I guess I should probably go for the armor, huh? Alright, let's put on that ring that I forgot to put back on. Or maybe I should do wind? Nah, I should do defense. Make sure my paladin is nice and tanky. Oh, and I forgot I can read the armorer's character story. All right, armorer. Hello there. Striking out on your own, are you? Oh, I've been at this long enough to see people up at, to size people up at a glance. Don't worry, I'll make you exactly what you need. You saw him, right? Real scrawny looking? You'll have no problem taking his money, and I'll have no problem staying in business. It's win-win. Traumatized by the bullying he received as a child, he vowed he'd never let anyone get the better of him again. His pain was the springboard for the body now before you. Quite. Elsewhere, another boy masked his own body issues by teasing another. Fearing retribution, he too bulked up. Thus, did the world gain two absolutely ripped men. I should probably check the item shop just in case there's something interesting. Nothing interesting. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's try the especially complicated version of the card game. This is the one that I'm sure to lose. Oh, I didn't want an explanation. Yeah. Okay, super confusing game now. And it's going to be 4 players. Let's see who will go first. The Muscle Man will go first. The game begins. Man, that was really generous. Really, really generous. See, this is where it gets hard. More chances to lose out. More chances to not have chances, I should say. Anything good or bad can happen. Everyone else has had good stuff happen. I think I'm going to sit out this one, and I'm just going to see what cards I get first. So I can either make 8, or I can make 9. Not particularly good, but at least I make a player skip a turn if I do this. Yeah, you can rest. Discard until you have 1 card in hand. One, two, three. I'm not going to get that lucky. Ha! See, everyone started skipping when I skipped. I may just lose my turn here, but let's try and see what happens. I'll take it. I'll take it. That was petty. Ooh. Oh. Not nearly as bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's like, I think grabbing the 2 9s would have been more damaging, at least for my... I really want to take a turn, so I'm not going to draw this turn. Okay, so I can either choose 2 cards from the pot to destroy, which doesn't really do much of anything for me, or I could just take the lead. Let's take the lead. Ha! And the pot gets destroyed. Meh. Doesn't really hurt me. Add 2 cards. I mean, that's really useful. Wow, that is a lot of cards, and you didn't get shit with them, man. That sucks. You got all those cards and got nothing. Fours. Oh no, they can make me rest. Ew. But they didn't. I swear the AI in this version of this is way too generous. Like in the demo version of this, the AI is just cutthroat. I'm in the lead. There's the pot. I could be forced to rest. I don't know if I can be forced to, like, get rid of something from my hand or from the cards that I've, like, made stacks with. Yeah. Let's just see. Steal 1 set from a selected player. That's incredibly generous. I am totally stealing your best set. Or I'm going to steal this, actually, because I'm sick of you getting extra cards. Nice. Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. Well, that's a bad one, but I'm gonna have to do 2 rolls on my turn. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have taken the bigger one. Are they ahead of me right now? They are ahead of me. Ah, that one. That's rough. Alright, so I need to improve on what's in my hand somehow. I don't know if there's... Yeah, there's no more cards remaining. We're done. I've lost. I should have just taken the points. But instead... The Muscle Maiden. Well, if I had just taken the points... See, you just take the points, right?
Don't let it get you down. Come play again, says the boy, waving.
Include all... Joker? There's a Joker card, too. Ooh. Try that another time. Yeah. I just got a little too, clever for myself on that. I should have been paying attention to how many cards were left.
The sign on the door reads, The Great Nutritionist Oreo.
Gold? Goldilocks? Gold? Oreo?
You open the door without knocking. Is anyone home, you call?
Mr. Speedwagon.
A muscular man emerges from the back.
So just everyone in this town is ripped. Okay. How do you greet him? Look at that toned physique.
Praising his musculature seems to put him in high spirits. Anyone can achieve a body like this with the proper diet, he explains. So why don't we enjoy a life of love and nutritional meals together? Have mercy, you think, then immediately change the subject. You politely ask if he is the nutritionist. Indeed, I am the nutritionist Oreo, he answers. He says he has been studying dietetics here for many years. You hand Oreo the extract and explain that your comrade is now bedridden because of it. He stares at the extract for a long time, and then opens the bottle and laps at the liquid inside. That's poison, Melanie shouts in alarm. The man insists that he'll be fine with his expertise of nutrition, and insists that knowledge is power, as if that will help somehow. Regardless, it seems he managed to grasp the composition of the poison with that lick, and starts concocting a nutritional supplement to counter it. However, he says he needs a spry fish, which has been difficult to catch lately. He needs a special fish to make the necessary supplement.
How do you catch a spry fish?
When he explains that you can catch one in the surrounding sea, Ridis confidently interjects. She shows you a page from her ancient tome, which explains the ecology of the fish in detail. That book comes in handy from time to time, Melanie remarks in surprise. Oreo gasps as if remembering something. He says that his son went out fishing and, with a bit of luck, may have already caught a spry fish. It sounds like his son is fishing on the wharf. You decide to go find him.
But speaking of water, I will take a quick water break. I will be right back. Alright. Sounds like your son is fishing on the wharf. You decide to go find him. Oh, Ridditz's Flipside story is unlocked. Interesting. Didn't realize we were that far in. Wait, I know that sound. The tones of a most familiar flute pull this lively young lady away from her fruit-gathering chores and toward our merry band of rogues. She carries a book she has read many, many times before, and is never happier than when she has the time to let its pages carry her away on its soaring visions of the future. Riddis has a favorite book. Here? Here? For you.
You approach a woman sneaking around in a corner of town. Hearing your voice, she turns in surprise. You see a vial of cold medicine clutched in her hands. You explain that the person she stole it from needs it back. The woman begins to explain her own situation with downcast eyes. "My poor little boy is bedridden," she says tearfully. "He needs medicine, but I don't have any money, so I took it." Hearing her tale, you are overcome by sympathy and decide to look the other way. She thanks you and hands you something, apologizing for not having more.
Mysterious card 6.
Medicine in hand, the woman leaves quickly. Now then, what to tell the other lady? You explain that you are unable to find the thief. Clearly saddened by the news, she explains that she keeps the medicine on hand for her husband, who gets sick quite easily.
Well, I have salve. Does that help?
She laments that she may not have the money to buy more. Unsure if you made the right choice, you return to your journey with a heavy heart. Saving one forsakes the other. What a cruel world this is. You see a young man with his line in the water and call out to him. He turns around and flexes, shouting out suddenly, "Power is power." You stare, enchanted by his bulging musculature. There is no doubt in your mind that this is Orio's son. He asks if you have business with him.
What will you say? I kind of doubt it'll work with the sun, too. But...
Praising his musculature seems to have put him in high spirits.
oh, good, it did work.
Anyone can achieve a body like this with the proper exercise, he explains. So why don't we cast our needless garments aside and train together? Have mercy, you think, then immediately change the subject. Though you are pretty sure of the answer, you ask the young man if he is the nutritionist's son. That I am, he answers. He introduces himself as Bruno and says he is learning to be a nutritionist like his father. You introduce yourself, expressing to him that you are a hero on a journey and require a spry fish to save your ill comrade. His eyes begin to sparkle the moment you utter the word hero, and he becomes engrossed in your tale. More or less grasping the situation, he regrets to inform you that he has not caught any spry fish yet. He says that a monster has settled near their town, and its thundering roars have scared most of the fish away. You know Oreo needs a spry fish to make that supplement. Hearing the despair in your voice, Bruno speaks, his words like an ember in the dark. He tells you that there is a harbor near town where fishermen gather. Perhaps you can find the fish you seek there. You thank him for the information, then head to the harbor with your comrades. Just as you are about to leave, Bruno offers to escort you there. Is it a reward you're after? You are about to ask. But Melanie smacks you on the head before you can voice it and allows him to come along.
Seek out a spry fish in the harbor northwest of Shoreland. Harbor northwest of Shoreland. Set up the party? Yes? So, what can you do? Oh, you're a bit differently leveled. Deal damage. Add 3 to all allies' attack for 3 turns. Pretty good. Add 3 defense for 3 turns. Deal 1.5 times damage. I mean, it's not that good compared to what Ash does. So I think I'm actually going to swap back over to my Paladin. And so we leave to head northwest.
Bruno looks ecstatic that he was allowed to join your party. When you ask him why, He tells you that his dream is to be an adventurer and has thus been training every day. But his father, famed in the world of nutrition, forced him into following in his footsteps. One desires strength, the other knowledge. Unable to see eye to eye, the two fight nearly every day. What will you ask Bruno?
You got something against armor?
Curious about his attire, you ask why he does not wear armor. He confessed that he once wished for armor, but deemed it unnecessary after gaining so much muscle.
Ah, the Zangief route. How are you with a sword?
You ask Bruno about his sword arm, saying you are something of a swordsman yourself. Bruno replies that he specializes in hand-to-hand combat, then flexes his bulging biceps as proof.
That's not proof.
Apparently, he only carries around a sword to look like an adventurer.
Ah, so the sword is more an affectation than an actual instrument.
In that moment, you realize something. While his passion for being an adventurer is true, he is dumber than a sack of rocks. The words "birds of a feather flock together" run through your mind, but you quickly chase them away, afraid of what that means for you.
Barren Harbor. The harbor is barren? Scour the harbor for spry fish.
Lately, a monstrous roar has been disturbing the seas and scaring away all the fish. He sighs, lamenting that his catches have been poor as a result. He has been fishing for several days, having decided not to return home empty-handed. He hopes his wife and child back in Shoreland are well. The woman says she has been waiting here for days, worried about her husband, who has yet to return.
All right, Muscle Maiden, what's your story? Muscle Maiden. Muscle Maiden. I want to be cute and stylish, sure, but I really want to live happily ever after. Visions of a ring with a big old diamond on it dance in my dreams. But nobody gave me that ring. So you know what I did? Just look at these muscles. Aren't they cute? And they shine brighter than any diamond.
A rough-tempered piscator stands there, having just returned from fishing. Mars' fate rests upon this man's haul.
I mean, this sounds a little bit more right, assuming that the translation is correct. Because catch anything yet? You know everyone's struggling, right?
Terrible, he says, showing you the few fish he's caught. Inside, you see a spry fish, Bruno shouts. You ask him if you can have the spry fish, but he says he won't give it up for free.
Of course. How much?
When you ask how much it will cost, he gives the absurd price of 1,000,000 gold pieces. You're heartless, Ridus pouts. The man is enraged by the rude response. Just then, Bruno prances forth and shouts, "Stop right there! Your fisherman muscles are simply sublime," he exclaims. He challenges the man to a competition of muscles with the spry fish as the prize. The piscator seems interested and agrees on one condition. If you lose, you must become my servant. This one's all yours, Melanie says, patting you on the shoulder. Then let the carnival of might and muscles begin, Bruno roars, completely fired up. Your puny body is no match for mine, the piscator shouts back, throwing a punch.
So what you're saying is I should have actually gone for the, Oh, well. We already have +3 this turn, so let's do the 1.5. Or... But if I do this now, then I can chop the next turn and have the chop and the bull rush both be at +3. Or do I want to up defense first? Ooh, options. Can't lose if the other person dies first. Chop.
You're doing great.
Yeah. Good thing I have items. Jeez. 15. I do have a quality salve, don't I? I do have a quality salve. It's inefficient though. I'm gonna be overheal. No, I'm not gonna be overhealing. I'm gonna be healing just enough. Well, let's just do the bull rush and see what happens, huh? He's got... That's kind of weird that I didn't get it for 3 turns. Whatever.
That feels like watching a bodybuilder competition. Looking ripped.
Well, You know what? 1 year ahead, get more ahead.
His victory sealed, Bruno strikes a glorious pose and shouts out, "Witness the power of power." Defeated, the Piscator hands over the spry fish to Bruno. Bruno extends a hand to the Piscator, who has fallen to his knees. With a serene smile, he takes the offered hand. An unspoken friendship begins to form between the two. Or at least, you hope that's what the prolonged silence between them means.
Ah, you've officially won. Ah. Deliver the spryfish to Ario back in Shoreland. Your party has changed due to Bruno's intervention. Would you like to readjust your party's lineup? Yes, please.
With the spry fish in hand, you head back towards Orio's clinic. Bruno looks at your group sadly, reluctant for this little adventure to end. You hand the fish to Oreo and ask him to make you the supplement. "Give me a moment," he says, then takes the fish and heads into the back.
One hour later.
"It's ready," he says, emerging from his room and handing you a bottle.
Ario's homemade supplement is nutritious and flushes out monster poison.
You hope this will get Mar back on his feet. You need to get back to Unionville on the double. But before that...
How will you thank Bruno? Well, take care. Or, words aren't necessary. Well, take care.
You face Bruno and say, "Take care," then run off. But Bruno stops you and says he wants to journey with you just a little longer. But Oreo is quick to douse the flames of his desire. "You will stay here and study," he commands. "Then you leave me no choice." Bruno's expression reads as he raises both hands behind his head and squats at hyperspeed. "I want to show this power to the world," Bruno proclaims to his father. "You have much to learn, my son," Oreo retorts as he starts sidestepping at breakneck speed. Only the sound of their labored breathing and bodies moving resonates through the otherwise silent room. You can only look on in stunned silence at the enigmatic display.
This would be hilarious as an actually fully animated realized game. Although it's hilarious just as the cards too. 30 minutes later.
Bruno falls to his knees, panting. This is my limit. You have grown, my son, Oreo says, looking no worse for wear. So are you coming with us or not? Melanie interjects, ever the blunt one. Only our muscles know the answer, comes Bruno's cryptic reply. I don't get it, Ridis remarks frankly. On the condition that he study nutrition upon his return, Bruno is allowed to go with you for just a little while longer. You realize that these two have a very special way of talking that no one else can understand.
Make your way to Unionville. Give Mar some energy concentrate.
Hearing yet another roar in the distance, you realize you need to get the supplement to Mar so you can investigate the sound together.
Yes, let's go.
Mar lies listlessly upon the bed, looking somewhat haggard. You help Mar sit up. Drink this, Mar, you say to him gently. He weakly opens his mouth, and you slowly pour the energy concentrate inside. Mar abruptly bolts up and turns his head toward you with a puzzled look. It looks like Mar is all better now.
How do you express your joy? Bear hug or squeal with joy?
You give Mar a tight hug. Mar mewls softly in discomfort. Overcome with joy, you sob and stroke Mar's head. Melanie and Ridis watch you two with a smile. Bruno is deeply moved to see nutrition bringing a smile to others. With this, you can finally put the happenings of that strange village behind you. You decide to take Bruno back to Shoreland, then continue your search for the dragon.
My party should be set up. Off to Shoreland. Hey, how much money do I have right now? $749. So I don't have enough yet to get Mar his new weapon.
You arrive at Bruno's house. Though he seems to want to adventure a little more, he reluctantly enters his house. You ask Oreo if he knows anything about the monster behind that mighty roar. He says that the creature nests atop a tower not far from town. With that, your next destination is decided. Here, you will part ways with these two. but you owe a great deal to the nutritionist and his son. Bruno looks at you, his eyes begging you to let him come along. What will you say?
Sure.
Let us defeat the dragon together, you say to him. You are sure his power and knowledge will come in handy against the beast. And you realize with a grin, he will be so happy just to come along that he will not want a share of the reward. Bruno is happy he can continue the journey, but Oreo stops him before he can get carried away. You must stay here and study, Oreo says. Bruno explains that the journey thus far has taught him the splendor of nutrition, and he now wishes to travel the world to deepen his knowledge. After hearing his son out, Oreo suddenly removes his glasses. And in the blink of an eye, the flesh of Bruno's cheeks, pectorals, and abdomen recess. And Bruno is lifted off his feet with a dull roar. Your eyes go wide at Oreo's assault, which was too fast for your eyes to catch. Knowledge of nutrition can help save lives, but also strike down enemies, Oreo says softly. Wow, nutrition is incredible, Ridis marvels, not putting too much thought into the events before her. Knowledge is the true power. You tremble, never wanting to make an enemy of Oreo. Though Oreo still deems his son's knowledge insufficient, he tells him to travel the world and surpass him someday. Thank you, Father, Bruno says from the ground, moved to tears by the strength of Oreo's knowledge. So it comes to pass that you journey to the tower with Bruno to find the roaring beast. Yet another colorful character.